Don't you like my outfit?
Well, Miss Florence Nightingale, unless you plan to spend the rest of your time at the beach, underwater, breathing through a straw, I suggest...
I get the picture. Now we're friends again, right? Right? Now wait a minute, Joe. Joe! Now wait, Joe!
I must return to my home in the sea.
No! I can't go with you. I have 5 children at home who need me.
5 children? Yeah.
Wake up. We got a flat. Come on, I need you to hold the flashlight for me. Let's go, Sleeping Beauty. The sooner we get this changed, the sooner I can get you home to bed. Okay, let's go home.
Joe.
Oh, my God.
Nurse, she's awake. Joe wasn't hurt at all. He's all right.
She'll sleep for another 24 hours or so.
Do you want the nurse?
What time is it?
It's about 5 o'clock in the morning. You've been asleep for more than 24 hours.
How's Joe?
He's the one that got you to the hospital. He's just fine.
Oh, my leg. My foot's twisted. Will you straighten it out? Not that one. The other one. The one that was hurt.
Just try and rest. Go back to sleep. Try and be quiet. Just rest. Oh, God. Why did it have to happen to her?
Sweetheart.
She had her whole life ahead of her. It's not fair. Oh, Larry.
Sweetheart. It's all right. It's all right. Look, honey, that's enough now. It's enough. Look, I know you need to let it all out, but honey, crying is not going to help. Look, you've been here since last night. I think it's time that you went home and you had a good bath and you relaxed.
I couldn't leave Sue.
But honey, it's not going to make any difference. She's still asleep. Now look, you're going to need all the strength you've got.
Just don't want her to wake up and be alone.
Well, she's not going to be alone. There are doctors and nurses all over this place. Now, come on. Come on, now, let's go home.
How is she?
She's regaining consciousness, but she's still groggy.
Good morning. Glad to see you're awake.
I hate to disappoint you, but I don't think I'm awake.
Well, that's the medication we've got you on. Tends to make you feel a little groggy. Can you understand me?
Yes.
Good. I'm Dr. John Detweiler, your attending physician.
Is Joe here?
Joe's not here, Susie, but he'll be with you very soon.
You had a pretty bad accident, young lady.
I can remember a car and my leg hurting.
When they brought you into the emergency room, your leg was pretty badly damaged. We didn't want to waste any time, so we took you right down to surgery.
Surgery?
There's no delicate way of putting it. In order to maintain circulation, we had to remove your leg 8 inches above the knee.
What do you mean removed?
Your leg had to be amputated.
You're wrong, Doctor. You couldn't have cut off my leg. I can feel it. I'll show you.
Now, I don't want you to get up, so give me some Demerol.
But, Doctor, I can feel my leg. Do you understand? I can feel it there.
Calm down and listen to me. Listen to me for a minute. Now, what you're experiencing is the phantom effect. For days, weeks, even years after an amputation, the person who loses a limb experiences the sensation as though it were still there. I want you to rest. Your body has had a severe shock and it needs time to recover. I know you have a million questions, but right now I'm prescribing rest.
But, Doctor...
everything's going to be all right. Believe me. I'll come back later.
Oh, God. God.
Honey, everything's going to be all right. It's going to be just fine.
How are you feeling?
My leg is giving me a lot of pain. Can't do anything for it.
It's about time for your evening medication. We'll see what we can do. By now, it's time to change your bandage.
I want to watch.
I think not. Just lie back and rest.
Can I watch?
Later. Right now, you need to conserve your energy. Remember, if you need anything, just press this button. We're not more than a few steps away.
Come on, I know hospital food's bad, but you really ought to eat something. Oh, by the way, here's that necklace Joe gave you. They had to take it off before you went to surgery.
Oh, thanks, Marilyn. I was wondering where this was. I always wear it. Where is Joe?
How should I know?
He should be here.
Well, they're not letting anyone see you, and Joe is probably waiting until you really feel up to having visitors.
Marilyn, you're not keeping anything from me, are you?
Oh, come on, Tiger. I couldn't keep any secrets from you. And I'm sure the minute he thinks it's all right, he'll be right here with you.
Dr. Detweiler?
Yes. Oh, Mr. Thomas, I'll be with you in a moment. What can I do for you?
How'd she take it, Doctor?
Oh, pretty much as expected. It was quite a shock, but all things considered, she took it just about the way we expected her to.
What'd she say?
Oh, nothing really. After all, you've got to realize she's in considerable pain. She will be for 3 or 4 days now. That's how long it takes the severed nerve endings to mend.
3 or 4 days.
Yes, but after that, the really crucial period begins. There's usually depression, self-pity, a feeling of complete disorientation, especially with Susan, because the loss was so totally unexpected.
That's what I really wanted to ask you about, Doctor. About her living with one leg. I mean, an amputee.
Well, she won't be confined to a wheelchair or even crutches, for that matter. With a new prosthetic leg, Susan will be able to do, with a couple of obvious exceptions, anything she could do before the accident.
I see.
But more important now is her emotional rehabilitation. How are people around her going to react to her limitations? That's why she needs all the help and all the moral support she can get from her friends and family.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Doctor. I know you're very busy.
Anytime at all.
things aren't going to be the same. They'll never be the same again. But at least we love each other. That's one thing I can count on.
Oh, listen, I've got to run. Larry had to run some errands, and that's why he didn't come up with me. I told him I was just going to pop in and see how you were doing and then meet him downstairs. You are all right.
I'm all right.
Okay. Well, I'll be back this afternoon when I have the car to myself. And in the meantime, if you need anything, call me at home. And I'll be right over, okay?
I will. Don't worry about me.
I'm not worried about you. You're too stubborn to let anything keep you down. Bye-bye.
Well, at least your appetite is getting better.
Listen, I usually eat like a horse.
Now, your orders are to practice walking. You're not supposed to overdo it, but you have to do as much as you can. Let me help. That's good. Now, just walk back and forth here in the room, and when you get tired, rest, but keep going, okay? Ring if you need me.
Joe, baby, I'm so glad to see you. I was so worried about you. I was afraid that you'd gotten hurt and they weren't going to tell me. I'm so glad to see you're all right.
I'm fine. Here.
Guess what? This is only my second day on crutches, and already I can walk back and forth across the room I don't know how many times. Isn't that fantastic?
I'm very happy for you.
Joe, is there something wrong? I know. You're upset because we're going to have to postpone the wedding. I'm sorry. I don't know how long it's going to have to be. Dr. Hartman said it wouldn't be that long. I know it's not going to fit in with our plans.
We won't have to postpone the wedding.
What do you mean, Joe, baby?
I think the best thing is to be perfectly frank, don't you? I mean, we've always been honest with one another, and there's no reason for us to stop now. I said we wouldn't have to postpone the wedding because there isn't going to be any wedding.
What are you saying?
I'm saying I can't marry you, Susan.
Joe.
Ever since the night of the accident and I saw that leg mangled like it was, I've been going over and over in my mind. What was I going to do? How would this affect us? It's been a very hard decision, Susan. Very difficult. Because I loved you very much. And yet, to be perfectly honest again, I just couldn't see how it was going to work. I mean, I have my whole career ahead of me. I know. Maybe could do it, try it, work it out. I just came to the conclusion that it would be easier on both of us if we just broke it clean now.
I can't believe you're actually standing there saying that.
Maybe I shouldn't have come here to the hospital like this. Maybe I should have written it in a nice, long letter. It might have sounded better on paper than it does now. But I wanted to tell you face to face. I figure I owe you that much.
You owed me that much.
Hey, Susan, you're a fantastic person. You'll come out of this all right. I hate to see this happen to you. I'm sure you'll find someone who's going to be just right. Only I'm not the one.
Joe.
Bye, Susan.
Dr. Hartman, you're going to have to do something about this patient.
You mean Susan?
Yes. She's depressed and irritable. She won't eat. I can't get her to practice her walking. She's unbearable.
Well, I'll see what I can do. Well, it certainly is gloomy in here.
I asked the nurse not to open those.
I understand you've been giving everyone around here absolute hell for the last couple of days. And I thought you were going to be a model patient.
People can sure fool you sometimes, can't they?
Look, I don't know what's troubling you, but I want you to do those things that are best for you. And that includes practicing your walking on crutches.
What's the use?
The use is you're going to be given an artificial leg that will let you get out of that bed, walk around, and do whatever you want to do. Now, if you insist on lying there and feeling sorry for yourself, you're never going to be anything but a hopeless cripple, instead of an attractive young lady with her whole life ahead of her.
Right now, that life looks pretty bleak to me.
Well, why? It shouldn't. You can have everything in it you might want. Home, family, career, whatever.
Don't kid me, Doctor. I know what my life will be like. No man's gonna want me when I'm only half a woman.
There is no physical reason why you can't have a husband and children. Now, I'm not going to stand here and argue with a patient who's bound and determined to feel sorry for herself. If you do decide to stop pitying yourself, I suggest you start by practicing with those crutches. Because I, for one, am not going to carry you around on my shoulders.
Joe!
Well, look who's out for an afternoon stroll.
Oh, Dr. Hartman, you surprised me.
I didn't mean to startle you. Glad to see you up and around.
My room is suffocating. I just had to get out and walk around a little.
That's fine. Don't apologize. I want you to walk and go as much as possible.
Steve?
Hi there.
I thought you were going to meet me in the parking lot.
Patience, patience.
So you said you have patience to see, or I'm supposed to have patience and wait in the car?
Both. Tiffany, this is Miss Susan Imes. Susan, this is Tiffany Bowles, a very close friend of mine.
And soon-to-be fiancé, if I can get him alone long enough to twist his arm.
You'll just have to make an appointment like everybody else.
Seriously, aren't you ready to go? We're going to be late for the party.
I was just leaving. You keep up the good work. I'll see you tomorrow.
Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to have met you.
Dr. Deadweiler, may I speak with you for a moment?
What can I do for you, Steve?
I've just come from seeing Susan Imes.
How's she doing?
Oh, she's doing very nicely. She's up practicing her crutch walking, and later on this afternoon, she's going to be measured for a temporary prosthesis. She seems to be coming out of her depression.
Excellent. Sounds as though you're making fine progress.
Well, I think we still need some help in the emotional area. Susan's morale is not all that it could be.
What would you suggest?
I think it would be beneficial if we explored the prospect of Susan's coming to work here at the hospital when she completes her rehabilitation. Well, she is a registered nurse, you know.
Well, you know, I'm not the man who hires and fires here.
I realize that, but her main concern is that her life and career are at an end, and I think it would be very helpful if she could look forward to continuing her profession.
Well, maybe I could put in a word with Dan Blake and personnel.
That would be very helpful.
Why is it that every time I have a conversation with you, I feel like I'm getting conned?
You misjudge me, Doctor. I have only the best interests of the hospital at heart.
Well, I don't question your motives, just sometimes your methods. Speaking of motives, how is that beautiful young lady of yours doing?
Tiffany. Well, she's her normal, charming self.
When are you two going to get married?
That's what she keeps asking.
She's very beautiful.
And very rich.
Well, you make that sound like some sort of a handicap.
Well, she wants me to go up to New York and open a practice in one of the big clinics up there. Her father could arrange it.
An opportunity, young man.
But maybe I'd just like to be an old country doctor, delivering babies and handing out measles shots.
Oh, you're far too bright to bury yourself in some place like that.
But I want to be able to make that choice. The big problem is, can I have Tiffany and not take all the rest?
The problems of today's youth. You know that old saying, money can't buy happiness, but neither can poverty.
Were you heading for the cafeteria, Doctor?
Yes, yes. You know, it's been the goal of my life to someday walk into that cafeteria and have a perfect cup of coffee. I arrive each morning with the greatest of expectations. But so far, I've had nothing but the bitterest of disappointments.
You happy to be going home?
Actually, Doctor, I'm kind of scared.
Well, there's nothing to be scared of, Susan. Just go right ahead. Get back into the swing of things. Just remember to take every activity a little easier than usual, at least until you get your full strength back.
Whatever you say.
Well, I hope I'm not disturbing anything.
Oh, not at all, Doctor.
Well, I'm glad to see you finally getting out of here. We've got a lot of sick people that can use that bed.
Right now, the way I feel, I could use that bed myself.
Oh, you've been gold-breaking long enough. If you weren't so pretty, I'd have discharged you a week ago.
Well, I've got to be going. Thank you both for...
Well, you go along now. We'll see you soon.
Take care.
You too.
You're late.
You noticed that?
Oh, of course, maybe I'm not supposed to notice, because you were only supposed to be here an hour ago. Usually it's 2 or 3 hours I'm kept waiting.
I'm sorry. I was late getting away from the hospital. I ran into a patient. I gave her a ride home.
Oh? Just, who is this patient? If I'm not being too personal.
I can see this is going to be one of those conversations.
Very observant, Doctor. Well, you haven't answered my question yet. Just who was this patient you had to give a ride home to?
Susan Imes, who happens to have one leg. I didn't want to see her jostled about on a city bus.
Oh, maybe if I became one of your patients, I could get treated with the same kind of consideration. Look, if it's not rushing you too much, could we leave now? I mean, if we're going to make it to Sherry and Bill's at all, we'd better move now.
Where are we going?
To Sherry and Bill's. They're having a little get-together. I told you about it last week.
I thought that was Friday night.
No, Friday we're going to the Chrysanthemum Ball.
And Saturday?
To the symphony.
Honey, why don't you just pick up the phone, call Sherry and Bill, tell them you're very sorry, but we can't make it tonight.
And why should I do a thing like that?
Because I'm tired and I don't feel like going out every night. For God's sake, can't we stay home just once? Not every night, just once in a while.
Well, listen, Mr. Dear and Glorious Physician. I'm young, and I need a social life. I'll be damned if I'm going to stay cooped up in this apartment watching TV like an idiot.
I'm not saying for you to do that.
Yes, you did. If you had your way, I'd just, vegetate while you sat here and read back issues of the American Medical Journal or God knows what kind of crap. I will not call and cancel. I'm going to that party tonight, whether you come along or not. So are you ready to go? I'm sorry. It upsets me when you're late. You know how I worry.
Tiffany, I'm a grown man.
I know, but you could have called.
I didn't realize how late I was.
I'm sorry I sounded like such a fishwife when you came in.
It's all right.
No, it's not. My only excuse is that I was worried, and also I was sort of looking forward to going out tonight.
But we go out.
I know. But Sherry and Bill are so much fun, and I've just been knocking around the apartment all day looking forward to going out. Especially with you.
But I'm tired.
Well, couldn't we go just this once? I won't make any more plans if you don't want me to. Just say the word. Whatever you want. You're the boss.
Sometimes I wonder.
Well, can we go now? Please?
Someday I'm going to learn how to say no to you.
I hope not. Come on, let's go.
so glad to get this. That other temporary thing was so grotesque.
It's a great improvement.
Now, when can I get back to work so I can pay off all my bills?
Now, don't try to rush things. This new prosthesis of yours is a delicate piece of equipment, and you're going to have to learn how to handle it properly. That takes time. You've got to remember you only have half as many muscles in your leg as you did before the amputation. So you're going to be using up your energy a lot sooner than before. You'll have to take that into consideration and pace yourself. Don't rush. The job will be waiting for you.
I'd like to thank you again for that, Steve.
Well, you can thank Dr. Detweiler more than anyone else. His word carries a lot of weight around this hospital.
I think your word carries a lot of weight, too.
Well, I've got to get back to work. Now, you go on and practice. I'm as anxious for you to get back to nursing as you are.
Okay. Bye-bye. Pardon me.
Yes?
My name is Susan Imes. I'm supposed to start working here today.
Great. We can use all the help we can get. My name is Barbara.
Glad to meet you.
First, you'll need to see Nurse Baxter. She's the head nurse on this floor.
Where can I find her?
Don't worry. She'll find you. Nurse Baxter, this is Susan...
Imes.
Susan Imes, and she's going to work here.
Yes, I've been expecting you. Want to put your things over there in the closet?
Okay.
Miss Cotton, take this down to Dr. Thompson for me, please. I understand you're an amputee.
Yes. My left leg above the knee.
And this is your first position as an RN?
Yes.
I see. First of all, I'd like to say that this is a very busy floor. Your days are going to be long and hard, and you may find them quite difficult. I won't ask you to do anything that you can't do physically. However, I cannot and I will not tolerate you using your disability as an excuse. Do I make myself clear?
Very clear.
Good. Come with me and I'll show you around and introduce you to the rest of the staff.
All right.
Good luck.
Thanks. I'll need it.
Let's take him into room 4. Fingers lactate 1000 cc with a large bore needle. Nurse, give me 15 milligrams of morphine stat. CBC type and cross-match to 6 units of blood stat. Nurse, I said give me 15 milligrams of morphine now. That portable x-ray, left femur, and then splint by as patient becomes more stable. Damn it, I said now! Move, damn it!
I hear you had some rough going today.
I just couldn't move, Steve. I just couldn't. I was frozen there on the spot. All of a sudden, I saw that guy's leg and everything came rushing into my mind. I was scared stiff.
Now, don't let it upset you. You'd be surprised how many young nurses react exactly the same way. They freeze up. Now, a hospital emergency room is not a very pretty place to be, but it's something you can get used to.
But I'm so ashamed. All the training, the schooling, I've done it all. And all of a sudden I just stood there like a damn dummy.
There's no amount of training that can prepare you for the things you see in this business. And no matter how detached and immune you think you are, all of a sudden it reaches up and grabs you by the throat, and there's not a thing you can do about it. It just goes to prove you're still a human being inside. Now, the best thing for you to do about what happened here today is forget it.
I guess I better get back to work.
Yeah. There are people up there who need you.
See you tomorrow. Good night. Good night.
Excuse me there, baby.
Gee, Fred, looks like you got yourself a little piece of action.
Yeah, I could do with a little action. You know what I mean? Hey, Missy, what's the hurry? Need a lift, lady?
You know, you really shouldn't be walking in that type of neighborhood.
You're not telling me anything I don't already know. It's not bad when I work during the day, but when I pull a night shift, I've got to go that way to get to the bus stop.
Have you ever thought about renting a place within walking distance of the hospital?
That'd be neat, wouldn't it? Then I wouldn't have to worry about someone picking me up and taking me to work all the time.
It's a thought.
I guess I could start looking for one.
I could ask around a bit if you'd like.
Oh, I don't want to inconvenience you.
Oh, it's no inconvenience at all. I'll just talk to a couple of people I know down at the hospital.
That's awfully sweet of you. Thanks for the ride home. Things were getting really tense until you showed up.
Well, other doctors take Wednesday off to play golf. I rescue damsels and slay dragons.
I believe it. Thanks again.
Sure. Let me help you out.
No, I can manage, thanks.
Night.
Hello? Yes, she is. Who's calling, please? Oh, Dr. Hartman, hello. Yes, fine. Oh, no, Susie's right here. Just one moment, please. Susie, telephone for you. It's Dr. Hartman. Hello?
Susan, I think I found the ideal apartment for you. It's about 3 blocks from the hospital, and it rents for $160 a month. I think you might like it.
Fantastic. You didn't have to go to all that trouble.
Well, it's no trouble at all. But there is one catch. I don't think it's going to be available for long. A lot of students rent apartments in that area, and I think it might be a good idea if you could look at it right away and tell the landlord if you wanted to take it or not.
Oh, I'd like to, but Larry took the car. It'll take me an hour to get there by bus.
That's no problem. I'll come over and get you.
Oh, I don't want you to have to do that.
Listen, it's better than having to look for another apartment. I'll be over in about 15 minutes. That is, if you're free.
Oh, I'm free. 15 minutes will be fine.
What was that all about?
That was Steve. He found me an apartment close to the hospital. He's coming over to take me to go look at it. I've got to get ready. Damn, I can never get this thing on right when I'm in a hurry.
Hi, honey. I'm late again. I admit it.
Oh, it's perfectly all right. I imagine you were with your one-legged bitch again.
Tiff, you're a really great person. Then you open your mouth and blow it.
Oh, you misjudge me. I'm very understanding, Steve. Extremely so. Well, nobody could accuse me of being old-fashioned. I don't mind having a husband who cheats on me just a little bit. I would just like for him to be my husband first.
You're making a scene for no reason.
Am I? All right, then just where were you, if I may be so bold as to ask?
All right, I was with Susan. But I was simply trying to help her find an apartment.
Of course. It's the latest service being offered by your friendly neighborhood doctor. Oh, I can see it now. Dr. Stephen Hartman, neurosurgeon and apartment locator. Has a nice ring to it.
There's nothing for you to be jealous about.
Oh, I see. You're doing all this because you feel sorry for little Miss Imes.
I don't feel sorry for her.
Pity is such a noble emotion, Steve.
I don't pity her. As a matter of fact, I admire her very much. But that doesn't mean I'm in love with her.
All right. Maybe you haven't jumped into the sack with her yet. But it's my contention that it's only a matter of time. What I'm trying to say, Steve, is I'm tired of waiting. I've been going with you for over a year, and I am tired of being dangled on a string while you make the decisions about what to do with your life. Either you want me enough to make me your wife, or you don't.
It's never been a question of wanting you. It's all the other things that go with that choice.
That's part of me.
And that's what makes the decision so hard.
Look, Steve, I just want you to say you'll marry me, so I can have a nice engagement party and my father can come down. I can introduce you to all my friends and say, this man is going to be my husband. He's handsome, he's intelligent, he has a brilliant future, and he's mine. Now, I don't think that's asking too much.
You're pretty used to getting what you want, aren't you?
It's in the blood. You better hurry, Steve. I won't be around forever. I think you'll like what I have for dessert.
That should do it. Oh, what a mess.
Yes. I certainly appreciate you helping me move in. Thank you.
Oh, no problem.
Now, what can I do to help? There's still a lot left to do.
I'm too tired. All I want to do is go to bed. I've got my night things right here. So thank you, but I think I'll just finish on my day off tomorrow.
I really hate to leave you like this.
I'm not a little girl.
You'll always be my little sister. I guess I do smother you sometimes.
I know you're just trying to take care of me, but I've got to learn to start doing things for myself. Be my own person.
You've always been your own person. I'll just take these things to the kitchen.
Just go home. Thank you again, Larry. You've been awfully kind and considerate.
Anything I can do to help fix this place up? Paint or anything, you call me, huh?
Thanks, I will.
Come on, Marilyn, let's go. She just wants to go to bed and have us leave her alone. Besides, I think we could all do with some rest.
Oh, listen, Tiger. If there's anything I can do, just pick up the phone and call me. I'm not that far away. Besides, I'll probably be barging in here anyhow, like the nosy sister I am, okay?
You know you're welcome anytime. Thank you both.
Yeah.
Well, nurse, how's the latest addition to your staff?
Fine, just fine. If only I could keep the interns and the orderlies from flirting with her long enough to get her work done.
That's not true.
Well, you know what they say about these young nurses. The only reason they're working is to catch themselves a husband.
Yes, and we older nurses work just to keep the one we've got.
You're quite right. Well, I just wanted to make sure that everything was all right.
We can handle anything that comes our way.
I believe you.
Steve, can I talk to you for a minute?
I'll see you back at the nurse's station.
I have a big favor to ask. Now, if it's an inconvenience, promise me you'll say no. I'll understand.
Well, if it's anything I can do, I'll try. What is it?
Well, a couple of my friends are having a party, Dick and Diane Burse, and they've invited me to come. It's this Saturday night. A bunch of my friends will be there. I just wondered if you could have possibly, well, if you're not doing anything or you're not busy, I wondered if you could, would you like to go to the party?
Well, I'm very flattered that you asked me. I'd like to take you very much.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm sincere. What time's the party?
Well, they said we should come over between 4 or 5 in the afternoon. We'll swim and then dine and party afterwards. Are you sure you don't mind?
I'm sure.
Now, you don't have anything else to do.
Look. I'll pick you up. 3:30 Saturday afternoon. Right?
Right.
Okay.
Congratulations, everybody. This is Steve Hartman. Steve, this is Pam and Dale, Mark, Karen and Bill, Doug and Linda.
It's good to meet all of you. Well, that water certainly looks good. Where can we change into our swimsuits?
Come on, I'll show you. Hey there, I'm glad you could make it finally.
I've been kind of busy.
I hear you're a nurse.
Well, they play at it.
Glad to see you.
Come on, I'll show you the bedroom where you can change into your suit.
Okay.
Can I get you something to drink, Steve?
Yeah, I can fix it. Where?
Over here.
Hey, what do you say we get our hair wet?
Sure, that's what we came for.
Hey, if anybody's hungry, the food's ready.
Yeah.
Sure was cloudy today, wasn't it? Can't you imagine everybody running around?
Would have been really funny.
I can just see people. You know, I sure am glad that you got to come tonight.
I'm having a great time.
You know, I think I'm gonna get me just one more little one.
Okay, go on.
That sure is a good-looking guy you came with today. Who is he?
Just a friend.
Hey, could I get you something?
Yeah, I'd like to have a soft drink.
One soft drink? Coming right up.
You're sure doing all right for yourself.
He's really a lot of fun to be with.
I bet.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I better leave you two alone.
Well, you know, you look pretty good this afternoon. I haven't seen you in a bikini before.
My God. You've seen me stark naked more times than I care to imagine.
Now, wait a minute. That was purely professional. Now, this is the first time I've seen you half naked, socially.
Get out of here with that.
Hey, would y'all like some more coffee or dessert, beer or anything like that?
I'm fine.
Oh, it's in the kitchen. Just help yourself, okay?
Isn't Diane a great cook?
Oh, she's excellent. I didn't realize I could eat so much in one sitting. Do you like to cook?
Oh, I love it. Can't you tell? Hey, do you know how to horseback ride?
I never tried it. I stay away from anything that doesn't have a steering wheel and a foot pedal.
I'm gonna have to teach you sometime.
I take that back. I like to sail. You know, just a one-man kind of rig. I never liked power boats. I think that's the satisfying thing about sailing. Just you and some wood and some cloth. And you'd be able to make the thing go. Tap the wind, get from one place to another. It's a feeling of accomplishment.
Hey there. You didn't think you'd make it through the whole party without dancing with me at least once, did you? You don't mind if I take her away, Steve, do you?
Fine.
Thank you very much. Just a minute, I have a surprise for you.
No, I haven't played in months.
Oh, come on. Oh, you can play. Please.
Oh, I can't.
No, come on. Oh, one song.
Love is having someone beside you, having a hand to guide you through thick or thin. Love is having the joy of kissing, having the grief of missing deep down within. Love is the need of loving someone, though from afar, having the fear of losing someone you adore. Love is sharing the stormy weather, sharing the sunshine too. Love is the feeling I have for you, the feeling I have for you, the feeling I have for you.
I don't think Bill's gonna make it home. I hope he gets Karen to drive for him.
Oh, I like Wild Bill. You know, he's actually crazy. He is totally insane.
He really is. He's the greatest guy in the world, but he doesn't have a brain in his head. Can I get you some coffee?
Oh, no, I don't want to inconvenience you.
If it would be an inconvenience, I wouldn't offer.
You know, I like this place. It's comfortable.
Yes. Thank you for helping me find it.
My pleasure.
You don't mind instant, do you?
No, not at all. That's fine.
How do you like yours? With cream or sugar?
No, thank you. Black.
It'll be ready in a minute. Oh, I'm so tired.
You had quite a workout today. You swam a lot.
Oh, I love to swim. You know, it was really nice seeing all those people again. After the accident, I kind of lost touch with most. I guess I just couldn't face them.
It's hard.
It certainly is. Thank you for taking me. I wouldn't have gone without you.
Now you're flattering me. I'm sure you could have found someone else.
I know some people, but no one I wanted to go with. Did you have a good time?
Exceptionally good.
I'm glad. Besides being an excellent doctor, you're a very nice person. But you know that, don't you?
I have my moments.
Are you sorry you kissed me?
I'm not sure.
I'm not. I'll fix the coffee now.
I better be going.
You don't have to.
I better.
Thank you for taking me. I had a marvelous time.
It was my pleasure. Thank you.
Remind me, I owe you a Mexican food dinner.
Sounds good. I'll take you up on it.
I hope so. Good night.
Good night.
All I want to know is if you're going to marry me or not, damn it! A simple yes or no. Is that too much to ask?
Tiffany, nothing is simple with you.
Look, I am not the public library where I check you out for 2 weeks to every stray little nurse who happens to come wandering along. We are supposed to be in love. We are supposed to be getting married. Now, all I want is a definite yes or no so I can start making plans.
You know, you're about as subtle as a bulldozer. I don't like being pressured.
Oh, so now I'm pressuring you. After more than a year, now it's pressure. Well, listen, Buster. I'm too young to sit around twiddling my thumbs while Dr. Albert Schweitzer goes around making house calls. Now, I'm not saying you can't have your little flings. All I'm saying is I want something definite to hold on to.
You really wouldn't care if I were sleeping with Susan, would you?
These things happen even in the best of families, Steve. Just as long as you don't flaunt it in my face.
Tiffany, you're a beautiful girl. I am sexually attracted to you. I think I might even love you. But sometimes I just can't stand being around you. Oh.
Like I'm a million miles away from everything.
That's why I wanted to come up here, just to relax and be with you. The meal was good.
Was it as good as my Mexican food?
Well, nothing could surpass those tacos, but next to that, it was excellent. I am so relaxed. I am totally unwound.
You're different today.
Oh, yeah? Oh.
Usually you're Dr. Hartman.
And today?
Today you're just Steve.
Susan, we need to talk about Tiffany.
Steve, we don't need to talk. I'm not asking you any questions.
I know that. That's why we need to talk. Look, I've been troubled by the fact that I could be almost engaged to one girl and still feel the way I do about you. Well, the truth is very simple. I don't love Tiffany. I love you.
Oh, Steve, I'm so glad to hear that. I've loved you for so long, and I had to keep it bottled up inside.
Susan, I love you. I want you to marry me as soon as possible.
Steve, please don't talk like that.
Why not? I love you.
Please don't.
What's the matter? You said you love me.
I do love you, Steve, but I can't marry you. I can't marry anyone.
You can't marry anyone.
I can't. It just wouldn't be fair.
Fair to whom?
Please, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Well, I do.
I don't. Take me home.
Susan!
Take me home.
May I speak to you for a moment?
I'm awfully busy.
I only want a moment. Step over here in private, please.
I can't leave the station.
Oh, go ahead, Susie. I can cover for you.
No, I don't think I'd better leave.
Well, Dr. Hartman, it's a good thing there aren't any sick people in this hospital that need your attention, since you don't have anything better to do than to bother my nurses. You want to talk about it, Susan?
There's nothing to talk about.
Have it your way. There goes a fine young doctor and an even better human being. And I'd think twice about letting anything hasty happen. That's one woman to another.
Yeah, but we're just half a woman short.
What was that?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
You might as well open up because I'm coming in to talk to you.
I told you I didn't want you to come here anymore.
I wanted to find out what kind of silly game you're playing.
It's no game. I just don't think we should see each other.
Do you mind if I ask why? A simple question.
It's because we're becoming too involved.
Becoming involved? We are involved.
I just don't think we should go on like this.
All I did was ask you to marry me.
I can't marry you, Steve.
You said you love me.
I just can't marry you. Isn't that enough?
No, it's not enough. It's not nearly enough, not by a long shot. Why, Susan? A very simple question. Why?
I have my reasons.
All right. Just answer one question. Did you mean it when you said you love me? Did you? Did you mean it when you said you love me?
No. I don't love you. I only said it because I thought you wanted to hear it. So go. Leave.
I guess I was a real first-class chump falling for you the way I did. Obviously, you were just out to prove you could get a man. Any man. And you picked me so you could take me away from Tiffany.
Please, stop.
You really had me fooled. I thought you were one of the most alive people I had ever met. I wanted to share that. Obviously, the girl I fell in love with doesn't exist. So I won't be bothering you again. But I would like to thank you. I'd like to thank you for making me realize how lucky I am to have a girl like Tiffany. I mean, she's not everything a man could desire, but at least it's all out front, where I can deal with it. She doesn't play games. You can come to the engagement party and the wedding. As a matter of fact, Tiffany might like to thank you personally for all you've done for us. Good night. What do you say let's get married?
When?
The sooner the better.
It might take you a hell of a long time to make up your mind. But when you do, you certainly know how to do things.
That's me, all right.
But you're not going to deprive me of an engagement party. Daddy would never forgive us.
Whatever you say.
Welcome home. Excuse us. Isn't this marvelous? Hi. Don't you just love it?
It's a nice party.
Here you are, Steve, my boy. Welcome to the club.
Oh, there's Carla Powers. I'm going to say hello to her. Would you two men wait here for me?
Just what club is that, sir?
Our club. Yours and mine.
You know, Mr. Bowles, I have a very unusual impression about you.
And that is?
You act like a man who's played a practical joke on the world. And he's keeping it a secret.
Sounds interesting. However, not getting away from the subject, I never thought my daughter would rope you.
Well, I gave it a valiant effort.
I don't see why you fought it so long. It isn't a fate worse than death. She's beautiful. She's rich. I bet there isn't a man in this room who wouldn't change places with you.
I wonder.
I understand you're going to New York. I hate to see Texas lose such a handsome young doctor. We have so few of them around here. There's so many advances being made in medicine today that it takes a young man to keep up with it. Don't you agree, Doctor?
Yes, of course.
Well, I've had this pain in my side for goodness knows how long. And I've gone from doctor to doctor. And they just can't seem to help me. I've had all kinds of treatments and taken all kinds of pills. But it's still there. You know, right here. It's sharp, and it comes mainly at night. Would you have any idea what it possibly could be, Doctor?
Well, it's really hard to tell without a complete examination, but,
Yes?
based on my work in this and other fields, I would be willing to stake my entire professional career on the diagnosis that you're probably in your 8th month of pregnancy. Excuse me.
I wonder if I should tell my husband about this.
You seem to be holding up rather nicely.
Well, I've been giving the bar a lot of business.
How do you like the party?
It's boring.
Oh, yes. But it's like the old joke about the farmer whose shoes were 3 sizes too small. The only pleasure he got was when he took them off at the end of the day. That's why he wore them. That's how I feel about these affairs, because no matter where I am, and I think I'm bad off, I reflect back on one of these abortions and realize just how lucky I really am.
Well, I'll drink to that.
Well, if there's anything you need, just let me know. Come on, Steve, I've got to show you to somebody. This is unbelievable. Everybody's here, simply everybody.
I'm impressed.
Something wrong, Steve?
No, nothing wrong. It's just going to take me a little while to get domesticated.
Oh, you'll learn, you'll learn. I've got a surprise for you. Daddy just told me he's going to send us to Europe for our honeymoon. How do you like that? 3 whole months anywhere we want to go. Isn't that exciting? Just as soon as you finish your residency.
Tiffany, I need to talk to you.
Oh, we can talk later.
No, we can't.
Oh, Steve, it could not possibly be important enough to drag me off.
It is. Tiffany, I'm sorry, but this is wrong. It's my fault. I shouldn't have let it happen.
What are you talking about?
Everything. The engagement, the wedding. Our lives together, it was a wrong decision. I'm sorry. I don't belong here. Not with these people. And I'm afraid I don't belong with you either.
Just what kind of shit are you trying to pull?
It's just that I don't want to spend the rest of my life like this. And I'm not going to. Mr. Bowles, I'm sorry I cost you the money. I'll repay you for the party and any expenses you may have incurred. Tiffany, I'm sorry for the embarrassment. But I think a little embarrassment now is better than a lot of grief later on.
Is it a Susan?
Well, possibly. I don't know yet. But I know I don't belong here. All this evening, I've just wanted to be one other place, and that's where I'm going right now.
You can't do this to me.
Well, you just watch. Mr. Bowles, it's been a pleasure.
Good luck, my boy.
Tiffany, I hope you find what you're looking for.
You bastard!
Goodbye.
Well, how do you like that?
I like it.
Daddy!
Tiffany, my dear, you've got to learn that when you're used to buying what you want, you ultimately have to settle for what money can buy. Have some more champagne.
Hi, Susie. Hi. You're not wearing your leg today. What's wrong?
Didn't you hear? General Motors recalled that model.
Sometimes I can't get over you.
Sometimes I can't get over myself.
Good morning, ladies. Am I glad to see your bright and shiny faces this morning?
Uh-oh, here it comes.
Mr. Delman in room 419 is having problems this morning.
Not again.
Still, in fact, he's being a royal ass. Which one of you lovely ladies would like to go down and help the noble gentleman?
Excuse me, teacher. Could I be excused from the assignment, please? I'm not all here today.
And congratulations.
Thanks.
What happened?
There was a little problem with my prostheses. I had to have it fixed. Guess I'll have to do the old straw hat and cane routine today.
Okay, tell you what. You take care of the desk, and I'll rejuggle the schedule.
I appreciate it.
Take a look at this for me, would you please?
Mrs. Baxter. Mrs. Baxter.
Oh, Susie, I'm sure surprised to see you here. Why? I work here, remember? Well, after what happened to Steve, What do you mean?
You don't know?
What happened to Steve?
He was brought into emergency last night after a car wreck. He's in surgery right now.
How bad?
Oh, I don't know. I just heard myself from an orderly.
Oh, Susan. You go ahead, honey. I'll cover for you here. We can do without you today.
Dr. Detweiler. How's Steve?
Come on, Susan, let's go over here and sit down.
I don't want to sit down. Tell me, how is he?
Well, it's a little too early to tell.
Is he gonna die?
Well, he's in pretty serious condition. But he's gotten through the worst of it, as far as life and death is concerned.
Thank God.
But there are other complications.
Like what? Like what?
He suffered extensive damage in the accident. There's a good chance that his legs are affected.
Oh, no.
We won't know for a couple of days. We're gonna have to run some tests.
How? Where did it happen?
Well, facts are kind of obscure. We don't know. His car went out of control last night in the rain. Fortunately, he was alone. No other car was involved.
Alone? But last night he...
He what?
Nothing.
As near as we could tell, he was coming down to this area by the hospital. That's the only thing that saved him. We got him in here right away.
But why would he be coming down here?
I have no idea. All I know is that he keeps asking for you.
Oh, God, I've been so stupid.
I'll speak to the head nurse and get you off for the rest of the day. I don't want you working today. Look, stop by my office. I'll give you a prescription for some medicine. I want you to take it.
I can't leave him alone.
There's no use in you hanging around here. He's going to be in intensive care for 24 hours at least, with no visitors, not even a nurse. So you might just well go home and take your medication and relax. And if anything comes up, I'll be in touch with you.
But, Doctor...
No buts. Come on, you're going home.
Susan, you must stop blaming yourself for the accident. There was nothing anyone could do to prevent it.
I don't blame myself for the accident. I blame myself for being stupid and unthinking, and most of all, self-centered.
Susan, please.
No, it's true. Do you know the reason I didn't marry Steve? The real reason? I was too proud. That's right, too proud. Proud of being courageous and determined and cheerful, and a million other stupid things. I was proud of being a cripple, proud of being able to cope. And every time someone said, "Look at that marvelous Susan. Isn't it just wonderful how she can go on in spite of everything?" I just drank it up. And then all of a sudden, Steve came along, and he didn't see me as a cripple. He saw me as a woman. I had to succeed or fail on the same terms as everyone else, and I was afraid. I was too afraid I couldn't cut it simply as me, Susie. Not Susie the amputee, or Susie the one-legged nurse, but me, Susie, Steve's wife. So I wrapped myself in a blanket of self-sacrifice. God, I was smug. I was so proud. But now, I would crawl into his room on my elbows if it would help make him well.
There, Tiger, go ahead and cry it all out.
Marilyn, we're gonna have to go.
I can't leave Susan like this.
No, please. Please, I'll be all right. Go ahead and go.
No, I just can't leave you.
Go ahead, I'll be all right. I promise.
I understand. Promise you'll let me know the minute you hear anything.
I promise. Doctor, can I see him?
Well, he's conscious, but sedated.
I've got to see him.
Well, all right, I guess it wouldn't hurt anything. But don't let him talk too much.
Don't worry. I'm the one that has all the talking to do.
Dr. Detweiler, here are the reports on Steve Hartman. Good news?
Yes, I would say so.
Are you going in to tell Steve?
Not just yet. I think he's in the process of receiving a batch of pretty good news right now. Tell me, how's the coffee in the cafeteria today?
Same as usual.
Good. Let you and I go down and get ourselves a cup. And afterwards, I'll prescribe the antidote.
Boy, the things a fella has to go through to see you.
How are you?
Oh, I'm a lot better now that you're here. Poor Dr. Detweiler, having me in here. I feel sorry for him. Doctors make the worst patients.
They can't be any worse than nurses.
Oh, they're much worse.
Steve, I love you very, very much.
Well, you picked a hell of a time to decide. 'Cause I sure can't do very much about it right at this moment.
Do you still want me to marry you?
All my marriage proposals are good for 90 days. Yours has 48 days left. So you're still in warranty.
I'm glad, because I'm going to take you up on that.
Well, it's about time.
Steve, I'm sorry I've been so stupid.
All I want you to do is lean down here and kiss me.